Sometimes the stars align and you and your model just understand each other, and few words need to be spoken other than, great, yes, oh, that one was a winner. But more often than not, you need to provide some direction, or maybe even a lot of direction to your model. And your ability to provide that direction can make or break a shoot. So let's talk about some general tips for working with models, some of the common challenges you might run into, and what you can do to ensure a successful shoot. So let's go to talking to Sandra, who is one of my favorite models to work with. Okay, so I have my model here. This is Sandra.
Hey guys.
She is, well, she's blessed.
Stop it.
She pretty much, she looks good from every angle. She's one of my favorite models to work with because she takes direction well. So that combination is deadly. You know, she's gorgeous and she takes direction well. So, and she has a lot of good ideas of her own. So now that I've, expounded on the virtues of Sandra, let's back up and pretend that she isn't as awesome as she actually is. And we're gonna use her to demonstrate some of the tips that I have for you guys. But before we do that, I wanted to get Sandra's perspective for you guys on being a model and the things that help her. And these are all things that you can use when you're working with models to help them along. So to start out with, let's have a little mini interview. Tell me, what do you do to prepare for a shoot, just any shoot in general?
What do I do to prepare? To prepare, I grab a huge coffee in the morning, run with my dogs.
That's what I do.
I know, right? So we have energy all day. Coffee, I listen to great music on the way to the shoot, and I always talk to the photographer, messaging them, making sure we have all the right outfits, all the same ideas, we're on the same page. Makes it go a lot easier, and it's really that simple. Just have a good time.
Awesome. That is, interestingly, similar to what I do as a photographer, and I assume to what a lot of you guys do as photographers. You try and get a little bit amped up with like music or whatever, coffee or whatever it is that you use. But that is good to know, and a good thing to bring up is the discussion beforehand. That's something that Sandra and I do, and something that I try to do with all my models is, do a little bit of email or texting or phone calls or whatever to discuss things before the actual shoot, so you're not, needing stuff. Let's see what else. One thing is, you're really good with posing, and I don't know, are you just a natural with that, or have you looked at magazines, or is there someone in particular, like a friend that has taught you stuff, or have you taken classes, like modeling classes or anything?
You are making me blush, as usual. I actually used to do a lot of projects with one of my friends, and if something looked horrible, she'd be like, stop what you're doing, get some water, redo that.
Okay.
That's what I would try to do, and just looking at all the pictures that I do all the time, I'm like, okay, I can do that better next time. I could suck in a little bit, stand a little taller. And it's just a lot of practice from being on video, and then practice from photo shoots, pictures, just looking at everything.
That is a good note too, because a lot of girls are pretty and they take pretty pictures, but when you want to get a variety of shots, it's kind of hard when you just have a pretty girl who hasn't practiced at all. So practice definitely does make perfect. I think that's a big takeaway for any models or photographers out there that that are looking to better themselves. What else? How about, do you have anybody in particular that you look at and you're like, oh, I want to be like that model or like that actress?
I do. I don't know if you guys are familiar with, but Miranda Kerr, she is a Victoria's Secret model. She is absolutely all around wonderful. My favorite thing about her is she is not afraid to step outside her boundaries. And I also think that is what makes her take great pictures. She tries something and she's not afraid. She steps outside of her boundaries and she's like, wow, that was an awesome picture. I never thought I could do it. She talks about how she's a photographer to help her gain that confidence, and I really love that about her. She has that confidence. She's not conceited, and she's just healthy and beautiful and smart, and it shows on camera.
You're probably wondering why I've got Sandra talking to you about her inspirations. Well, this is the kind of information that you can pass along to your model, because everything you can do to help your model out is going to help you. Now, let's talk about the photographer's perspective. First, let's talk about some general tips. First, There is no substitute for a relaxed atmosphere. You will always get better results when everyone is comfortable and having a good time. So to get started on the right foot, I always greet my model with a big smile. I also like to set some ground rules before we start shooting. I chat with the model for a few minutes at least to get his or her idea of what we'll be doing and communicate what I'm looking for. I always find that visual aids are helpful in this process. I actually made this magazine full of photos that I've done in my studio, but you can also use just store-bought magazines to help communicate what you're looking for, or even the internet. So, even if we talked about it over the phone or over email, I like to reiterate what will be happening. This just, it becomes more and more important as more clothes come off. If you're doing a swimsuit or a boudoir shoot. I also like to do privacy concerns. I like to talk about those. Let's see. Another thing I like to do is to chat a little bit in between shots when I'm setting up a new set maybe, or just, take a little bit of a break, let their faces relax and everything. I really like it when I finish a shoot and I feel like I've made a new friend. And the photos always show that. So let's talk about some poses and some, I don't know, I know we want to do some more boudoir style stuff today, but I want you to make sure that you're you stay true to yourself. And if there's something that I'm like, hey, if you, take your strap down or something, what do you think about that? Feel free to say no, thank you. But go ahead and take a look at some of these pictures and see if there's anything that you think, gosh, I really want to get that look and feel, or that pose, or, anything. Okay.
I love this look. It's so dreamy. Do you think we can do that today?
Yeah, we can definitely do. We can definitely do something. I actually saw something in your clothes that would be really good.
Yeah,
for that photo. Along the same lines, I like to play music. I usually pick something that at least kind of loosely corresponds to the shoot. For example, if I'm going for a sexy shoot, I'll play salsa music. Or if I'm going for a calm look, I'll play something like jazz. But remember not to play it too loud though. You don't want it to get in the way. There's, of course, never any harm in asking the model if there's something that she or he would like to hear too. Show your model a few of the photos that you're taking along the way. If you show them the good ones, it'll make your model a little bit more confident. And also, if this shoot is for the model, like to build her portfolio, you'll be making sure that the model is getting what he or she wants. Let's see, you can also guide the model by showing them what is working in these photos. And flattery can go a long way towards building a model's confidence. And a confident model is a sexy model. I like how you are doing all these little movements. That makes it really easy for me to get a bunch of different angles on your face. Actually, I like when you look at me like that. Let me show you what that does. It almost looks like since this part of your face is shadowed, when you look directly at me like that, it really makes it dramatic.
Yeah, that looks
really
great.
Cool. Let's try a couple more like that. You definitely want to keep the shoot moving so no one ever gets tired or bored. So setting expectations, like I talked about before, helps so you can keep track of what you're trying to get. Also, when you get a few great shots, move on. I know it's easy to just keep shooting when you find something that works, but remember that there's probably something just as good around the corner. Oh, that's really nice. Okay, I think we have what we want to get from this pose. Let's try, go ahead and swing your knees to where they're facing the backdrop. While you've probably planned out what you're going to do, and maybe even the poses that you want to hit, make sure to leave a little bit of extra time in your schedule for any ideas that the model may come up with. Sometimes you'll get lucky with an especially creative model, and when the two of you can work together on new ideas, the magic starts happening. I think, let me look through these real quick. Yeah, I think we pretty much have everything that I was looking for, but do you have any ideas? Is
Well,
there anything you want to try?
I love this shirt, so I was thinking maybe we could focus on just the shirt, maybe my face, something cool, like covering
Okay.
it up or something.
Yeah, let's try it. Now let's talk about some challenges you might run into. Sometimes you have a one-trick pony where the model has one look that they get stuck in. However good that look may be, you usually want a variety of looks. So, by being specific and giving them something to think about while you're shooting, you can usually help them to discover some new looks. Those are very nice. Why don't you try to lift your chin up like, well, yeah, actually about there, and keep your face just where it is, like hold your face super still, but follow me with your eyes. Just move your eyes around me, and I'm going to get different angles on your face this way. Yeah. Sometimes you have someone that doesn't look good from a certain angle, either in face or in body. I usually find it best to just simply be honest, but gentle. You know, with the way we have the lighting here, it's not giving me enough dimension in your face. So why don't you try to turn your head kind of over here, like where my hand is? Yeah, but tilt your eyes towards me. That'll give us, I think, yeah, that's definitely giving us a little bit more dimension in your face. The bottom line is to work with the model to make sure that everyone is happy. These tips also work for portrait clients. Especially when you have more than one person in the shot, clear directions become important so everyone knows what they should be doing, so you can get a good photo of everyone. Remember, you can have the most expensive camera and lighting setup around, but your shoot is only going to be as good as the model and the photographer. Whatever you as a photographer can do to help your model out will benefit the shoot as a whole.